Good afternoon, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to our Baron Heroes Journey seed. Kane's our wonderful hero today. I'm joined today by Alchemy on the mic. How we doing today, Alchemy?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this seed in particular. This is this club's first foray into Push B to jump. So all you gotta do is jump to victory, which means that, for example, the back row glitch is not on. So if you wanna do little physical damage in the back row, you gotta jump. But hey, everyone can jump. Just press B.
I gotta say, the push B to jump, I know that like it initially started out as this weird sort of gimmicky, haha joke April Fool's Day sort of seed, but it's really evolved into a whole new sort of seed that you can play in a free enterprise, and new strategies have evolved. And being able to jump, anyone being able to jump like Kane in combat was something that took me like 4 seeds to learn. It's a great little differentiator, and I tell you, we have two of the best here that are going to be showing us exactly what you can do in push B to jump in both Dathis and Possum Morpheus, highlighting everything about this flag set.
Yeah, for the rest, it's like, T Wildish, main summon Moon, and the objectives are, tailored after Kane, except with the complete Cape Bahamut bit, because the meta objective is to jump over all of the Bahamut tiles, just like bounce right over them and then defeat the boss of Cape Bahamut.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun meta objective for us. The behemoth tiles are turned on, so we have to jump over all of them. Not everyone remembers exactly where those tiles are, but if not, then hilarity will ensue, and we'll see some resets there. Um, but overall, with uh, what else do we need to look out for? I know a push B to jump is obviously something that's going to be central in this particular race, but what else stands out to you in these flag sets that's different from maybe some of the other clubs and seeds that we've been participating in?
Well, the other thing is that because this instance of Kane is the Kane that's has grown and has gotten over his issues for the most part. He One of his objectives is to get Cecil, but Cecil in this flag set is restricted as alongside Fusoya. That means that Edge isn't. So there is a very good chance you may be able to find an Edge in the wild, like at a free, kind of at a freebie spot in the overworld. So that will be nice for our racers. But say this is always nice too. But this is a perma join, no dupes, so that's a hard choice to make.
And interesting with that permajoin, both Possumorpheus and Dathis decide, Sid, early game is a fantastic character to bring with you, but we're also given quite a bit of early loot that Kane can equip. So going to abandon that early Sid, which is interesting. But as you mentioned, with permajoin on, he becomes more of a burden the later in the seed it goes.
Yeah, especially like our tracker Shinokat mentions in chat. Seed, with the way agility works, he's really slow. So agility is in C hero is based on your hero. He's your agility anchor, as we call it. So if Sid is slower than the anchor, it means that he's gonna take a million years to get a turn. Few characters are on though, so I think our racers might be fishing for that edge.
All right, so on Dathis' side, we see a Tela and a Palom going to take the Palom or take the Tela and ditch the Palom. Interesting.
I honestly I think he might be willing to find darkness, get like a physical party going, and just like do a dimension grind real like quick. That might be it. I mean, otherwise, why would you take Tela this early with this information? Like I bet Dathus has like a game plan already, an idea, a process.
And the flow of things is quite a bit different as well. When you can jump your way to victory, you can skip a lot of what are otherwise unskippable things. We see an edge here that's I got to imagine will be taking because Edge is a very valuable character, especially early game. I mean, early game, and then you equip him, and he's great late game too.
Yeah, Edge is one of the hands down best characters in the game, as long as you can find some pretty good equipment for him, either for him to actually equip or for him to throw. Um, since you are getting Cecil and and King is required to be in your party, just like from the get-go, this flag set favors physical fighters, so I'm not that surprised that Dathus, for example, brought that Tela along, because access to exit right away and blink, then he's gonna get berserk at some point. He just has all the utility spells fighters need to shine.
Poor poor Sid tried to rejoin the party again in Dempsey, and we're like, no, Sid, we've already told you no. Get out of here.
Indeed.
Worth noting that Dathus is, because he has that Tela, is able to full clear the Watery Pass treasury. It's T Wildish, so it's a great place to pick up lots of treasure. And then if you have Tela, you can exit right on out, and it's very very quick there.
Yup. But honestly, there wasn't anything amazing in the Watery Pass, to be honest. So there's that. I mean, there was a power shirt, which is fantastic for this fighter party. Oh wow, just a random ninja sword right there.
Casual ninja sword. That'll be nice.
That's why you always open that chest. It takes like half a frame to open the chest. It's worth it every time. Worth it.
And looks like we do have some free sheet fights here in the King and Queen of Eblan. Not, yeah, you don't really want to see this here, just because it's so easy.
Yeah, you want this on the moon, or like King, or like King or Queen of Salmon Monsters, something like that. Here it's just like, well, this spot had like, I don't know, 300 HP or whatever already. Sand Ruby could be a Cecil.
That is one of the restricted spots. I think I'm beelining immediately to go check that, and maybe doing a reset out if not.
Yeah, honestly, and besides that, a key item, because you need all the EXP you can get, because you have to defeat Zeramus at the end.
So Dathus has done a little bit more looting. Morpheus is, I think, a little bit ahead in terms of the straight line race right now. Has shown us more things. Was that just a casual Avenger?
Just casual, just chilling there.
Do you go back and pick that up if you're possum?
It's Kane's best weapon. Maybe the knowledge that it's there, and like he can go pick it up anytime. Like, I don't know, he already has edge, so it's not like he needs anything else to clear the overworld. But I don't know.
That Avenger can just carry things for a long time. And we do see Yang in his vanilla location up on Mount Hobbs, and gonna take a reset out of that as well.
Yeah, with a seed that has a guaranteed Cecil, and you start with a King, and Edge is unrestricted, and it's still Wildish, I don't think Yang shines in this flag set, which is okay. He has other places to shine. Yeah, our trackers did kept pointing out that no one has gone underground yet. Thanks to the power of Push B to jump, you can just jump over the Eblan shoals and just go down the hook route, and that's also a restricted character check. But no one has done that yet. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised as well. Especially, I mean, that's one of the highlights of Push People Jump. But in any sort of randomizer race, it's as much about what your opponents aren't doing as what you do. So I gotta imagine if everyone's jumping and going to be diving down to the underworld immediately, maybe you try to find some value up here.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. If everyone's going underground, maybe staying above ground is a good idea.
Oh,
Oh, there's a wyvern. Beam. That was fine.
yeah, that was fine. We had Witchburn turned on, so this should be a fairly quick Wyvern fight. Yeah.
And let's see what the reward is for Fabul. There it is.
Oh, that will benefit Dathus quite a bit. Having Tella and being able to get set up properly for that is just fantastic.
I mean, this is not C-Buy, so you can always go back to Mysidia and grab that Tela. It's just that you're gonna spend some time doing so, truthfully. But other than that, Tela's still available to Possum. Possum is going straight up in, like, to the moon.
Well, this is a restricted character, isn't it? The on the
Yup,
lunar dais.
it's restricted behind the key item with the darkness crystal. Yep.
Yeah, so I think Possum has made it a point to, get his party set up, get the character checks ready to go. The fewer times that you have to come back to ordeals to do anything. Oh, it looked like Dathus was trying to kind of nope his way around and got pulled in.
That's cute. I mean, maybe he wants the EXP for Kain, perhaps?
It's possible. I don't know. I have long given up on trying to predict or understand why runners do something when it confuses me. I just presume that they're better than me or they have a plan and just roll with it.
Totally. I mean, even if they don't have a plan, they have like these two players have been around for a while, and even if you're like you just want to chill and play a club and have a little fun and you don't make any big plans, you have like an instinct and a play style, and that just kind of like carries you like muscle memory. That's also Fusoya.
Yeah, that's a good character. So Dathus and his vanilla shenanigans are coming back. That's two vanilla character checks right now with Fusoya and Yang. Ha.
Oh, yeah. I'm tipping my vanilla tiara a little bit as usual. Also there was that ruby like on the Iron Lion. Yeah. I mean, Sinokat is right that Fusoya is not that amazing on push B to jump because you are mostly avoiding bosses, and Fusoya needs the bosses to get to full power. So like if you only need an enabler instead of like a powerhouse, maybe Dathus' Stella is just more than enough as long as he clears or heals, you know?
It's possible. I probably take the Fu as well. Right now. I'm worried about White Mage because we haven't really seen any other White Mages around. So
That is true.
Posomorpheus got the first jump. Second.
Here we go. Nice. He just didn't jump.
Okay, we need a ruling. We need a ruling. Do the jumps have to come and then save? Does that count?
It's fine. He did it. He jumped over the spots. It's okay. He doesn't need to like fight the boss required. It's that like there's no need. He got it. He jumped over the hazards. He's the high dragoon, masterful.
All right, so Possum does the meta objective, does get Fusoya, and really is set up reasonably well. Although, yeah, that Fu is lacking a little bit of power right now.
Yeah, the hazard was the Dimis all along. Dimis in that spot is not the worst, but it's certainly not the best. Those 3 punches before the cold mist phase are really gonna wreak havoc. Oh, do you know the fun little thing about push B to jump? You can just jump over the Baron guards and stuff, and just like go ahead and go get into Baron.
Yep, yep. It's actually very lucrative because there's a lot of great treasures that are in Baron that
Yep.
I seem to recall have are pretty valuable on T Wildish.
Yes, one of the looting routes especially in T-Wild Edge for push B to jump is just like go straight to Baron Castle. Some people do that.
Okay, thank you, Xenocat, for filling us in. I'm not a push B to jump expert. I don't ever pretend to be, but good to know that I remembered seeing something somewhere that seemed to indicate that was a thing to do.
Push B to jump is deceptive because sometimes you think you can make some jumps, but then you can't because they're like diagonal or something. It's tricky. It seems like Dathos is not really bothering to loot the F1 cave. I wonder if it's because, the bosses here are a non-issue. Well, there's Edward. I don't think Edward's a keeper in this flag set.
Nope, nope, not at all. Duplicate edge in Baron, though. So, I mean, we don't get a second edge, unfortunately, but that character
Nope.
check is also down.
So it has to be like Dwarf Castle, or oh dear, it might be the Giant. Oof. Oh yeah, package and sod are things. Wow. My mind just went like to the Giant immediately.
Package or Zod, yeah, I mean, you could do Giant. I'm fine with. It feels like an early kind of Giant play with that Tela. Once we finally have that unlocked.
I mean, yeah. Also, Possum, who has Fusoya instead of Tela, might get lucky and pull an early weak. See, Possum is just like dealing with this boss here to power that Fusoya because he really needs it. He wants that weak at this point. He wants the spells.
All right, so yeah, it looks like just doing some quickie bosses that can be run over by this party very quickly. And let's face it, with an edge, there's a lot of these bosses that can be run over very quickly.
Indeed.
Dathus, meanwhile, is diving further into the underground. It's funny because we predicted that Dathus wanted to find the Darkness Crystal relatively early because he picked up that Tela. However, the of the places to go, like we know where the Darkness Crystal is, and he just hasn't done. Obviously, that was Fabul,
I
right?
mean, yeah, it was full. The thing is that with immediate availability to the underworld, one of the things that some folks might want to do is go down and do the Sheila 1 check and then do Fabul because you can just go on the ground, so you save 1 trip to Fabul, you know?
No, it makes total sense, and in the general routing of things, Yeah, you would want to route those as closely together as you can.
And like the other thing is that you don't need that many key items to beat push B to jump because you can break some you can do some sequence breaking, like you can skip music, you can skip the earth crystal at the Tower of Sod, you can just go right underground, you can skip Baron. So there's that also means that that 10 key items is more of a rarity in push B to jump, so the EXP situation might be a little tight, especially without defeating so many bosses.
Possibly, but then you take a look at our objectives, and we have to find a package. We have to get the Luca key because we have to do the
Yup.
sealed cave. So there's absolutely we can't completely abandon the key items. Oh, hi, Rosa.
Well, Arosa's real nice, huh?
She is that. You know, if you were worried about a white mage, now you might regret picking up that foo unless you're trying to get him powered up and for that week to really get rolling there on the moon. Um, Still, I mean, I don't think I would regret taking foo either way. I'll take Rosa and foo. It's still a great party, especially if you're saving that last spot for your dedicated Cecil.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like with that Fusoya, maybe you don't really care about Rosa, but even then, Pastor Morpheus did pick her up. I guess more berserk casters are nice.
Absolutely. We did see the two Feymarch bosses in Dark Imps and then a Lunar
Yeah,
Sparkle. So
you
that
know,
was. Hmm.
and the Feymarch item shop was straight up selling hourglasses. So there's that. It's like, hey, if you wanna beat me, just go next door. Even then, you have to survive 3 punches at the very least from the dark games. So if you don't have 4 characters at least, well, that's tough.
That was at the Leviathan spot. So yeah, it's a little bit punchy there, as I recall.
Yes, it's tied for the highest physical attack in the game. So each punch at these levels are gonna each down a character per punch, and there's 3 of them. So it is a little tricky. It's not just like completely free. It's free in quotations.
Meanwhile, Possum is finishing up. Looks like doing Mount Ordeals. Key item check, but 3 bosses to help get that foo really powered up. Meanwhile, Dathus is completed kind of an underground swing and looks to be making some other decisions here.
I mean, if you want that Cecil, it makes sense for Puzzle Morpheus to just do ordeals. And since you have that Fusoya, he also went ahead and cleared the bosses, even though you don't really need to. That's a hook. Oh, that's not great.
I mean, okay.
Oh wow, that's real nice though. Odin here is lovely to see.
Yeah, this could have been a very difficult boss in a really rude spot, but uh, nice to get this one down right away.
Don't get too excited, folks, because if Dathus knows the tech, he's just gonna jump over the Dark Imp and grab the key item behind him. So don't hold your breath for music. Yeah, he doesn't even have the harp. He knows absolutely.
And since I mean, and in the back of my mind, I've been playing a lot of, Blue Moon and Red Moon seeds. Oh, there's yay
Well,
more vanilla.
you know what? That's a T wildish treasury. That's pretty nice, honestly. Like out
Yeah,
of all the key items, you might want to like you don't need the Earth Crystal in Push B to jump, but to like complete the Tower of Sod, but you do need the Earth Crystal, I believe, to open the treasury and access it. So that's pretty nice. Dathos might go ahead and crack that vault right open immediately. Or not.
Nope, he completely. He's like, no, I'm good.
This is fine, actually. Oh boy! Out the gauntlet.
Oh boy, this. We weren't okay. When we don't really care about the character, but Alt Gauntlet in this position is a little bit rude. But we have Edge, who can cast Flame. We have Pooh, who just learned Quake, by the way. So all the sweeping is going to get done.
Quake won't help you here, because guess what? Electrical fish are flying!
Really?
So,
That's
yes,
rude.
Yes,
That's
they're
rude.
flying! Electrical fish are flying! It's so funny! It's every single time! It's the funniest thing, I love it. I mean, you can sweep everything else, but it's just like, it's happened in Restream many times where it's like, a Fusoya or a Palom like does a quake, and then the electric fish is still standing, and like the racer just stops. It's like, huh? It just like stops for a few seconds, like what? But you know, Flame will get there.
Meanwhile, Dathus is going to show us Sheila 1. And we have. Oh, okay, well.
That's a real nice find. Like, Artemis Bow is really good, especially for like agility shenanigans. If whenever Morpheus gets around to doing Sheila 1, he's gonna be really happy to see that, because Kain is really fast. And for Rosa to catch up with Kain, she's gonna need that Artemis Bow. That's gonna reduce her casting stats, but you can remove it after the battle starts. And she will be as fast as Kain, technically, in the ATB.
So there's some setup that you have to do there, but it can be beneficial for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dathus fighting with really the true boss of Final Fantasy IV whenever T Wildish is turned on. The inventory boss.
It just, everything's so good. Everything's so good. You want to just keep everything, but you can't.
I'm addicted to the sound of the treasure chest opening. Just that little.
It's really good.
Really, it's an earworm.
Sound design in Final Fantasy IV is so nice, honestly. Most sound effects are just like, mwah, chef's kiss. Even then, it is a standard, so maybe like there's not that many amazing things to buy, but you might wanna, spot a curse ring or some sirens, the hourglass from before, That was also adamant, so Morpheus can now forge, and all of Kain's weapons are the best weapons for Kain. He just gets no bad weapons, so that's really exciting. More incentive for Possum to go underground. Meanwhile, Dathos has opted to do the same thing Possum has done and just go ahead and clear that Baron in. Cecil is still at large. Possum might go ahead and do Cave Magnus to Sod, but we'll see if that's his play or not. They are not next right to each other, so.
Yeah. So here's a question. The Dwarf Castle character check is not considered a restricted character slot with push BB. Correct?
I believe it is, because it is restricted by underground access. Yep.
Dwarf is restricted. Okay. I just didn't know if push B to jump changed the restrictions at all.
No. Push B to jump as an April Fool's joke flag. It changes no logic, like no logic at all.
Okay, that is
so you
good
can
to
just
know.
do things out of order, pretty much. Yeah.
See, I'm asking these questions not just for me, but for everyone else out there, because I know if I have a question, that means there's someone else out there that probably has one too.
Absolutely. We're happy to answer all your questions in the booth and outside of the booth. There's the Earth Crystal. We'll see if Possum Morpheus decides to open that treasury or not.
Dathus, meanwhile, still working through that alt gauntlet is rude. I mean, looks like, yeah, Possum
Yep.
is going to be doing the treasury. Our hero.
Like, I guess he might want to spike some really decent equipment for
Great!
That means
treasury!
for Edge, and he's gonna forge. Let's see. Oh, power shirt.
Also,
Never mind.
power shirt, yeah.
Artists. Yeah, life staff. Yeah, heroin robe. Yeah, we're good. That was such a good treasury. That's a T. Walder's treasury and a half.
10 out of 10 would treasury again. Although, we didn't get any weapons for either Cecil or Kain. Although we know where
That
one
is
is.
true. Yeah, the only thing missing was the holy swords, honestly. But like the crystal ring, power shirts, and everything. You know, with a crystal ring, maybe Rosa doesn't even need to wear the Artemis bow, or she can use the Artemis bow and the crystal ring to get as fast as the rest of the party. Or you can put the crystal ring on Cecil when you finally get him to make him up to speed compared to, Kain.
House of Morpheus showing a little bit more understanding of exactly what you can do and push me to jump here. Walking on the roof here through the Tower of Zot. Just really showing a mastery of what you can do in these flags.
Absolutely, those like shortcuts are so nice to see. Like push me to jump. When it was first introduced, it was like really funny, but over time, people started developing these like optimal routes throughout the maps. They're just like a joy to see.
Now Dathus is going to be following effectively the steps in Possum Morpheus. He's going to go up, do these bosses, get his Tela fully activated. Dathus now also has the Darkness Crystal from that particular check. Jumping over the bosses as best as he can, which is
Nice.
a great tactical move if you don't have to kill those bosses.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Fusoya, so he doesn't need to spend any time defeating those bosses. So it's just fine, just like whoop whoop right over those. Also, Morpheus has Fusoya and he needs those levels. So he's opting to defeat this boss, which is a Paladin, which honestly sucks really bad. Paladin is not great. But with a quake, elemental damage, it's fine. I like the use of a lead bolt from Dathus' side to defeat Odin in one go. That was just the most optimal way to defeat Odin right there and there. Wonderful.
No, fantastic there. So we have Tela online. Cecil, whenever we find him, is online. Both runners are really making interesting decisions. There's certainly a wide world for them to explore with push me to jump. We haven't. The problem is we really haven't cracked the code of this particular seed yet. We've gotten
dang it!
nothing.
Dathus stepped into the encounter tile for Ruby Kante. That sucks.
Oops.
But it is what it is.
All right, so the character checks up in Earth Crystal. Looks like we have another Rosa, which is fine. Okay. We weren't worried about a white mage, I guess. And a Fu.
Well, Cecil's still large.
Really starting to restrict. So we got Dwarf Castle, we've got Package, we've got Giant. That's kind of it, isn't it?
Yup, Dwarf, Package, and Giant, I believe. You know, the chat loves the idea of it being in the Giant.
Well, chat also likes misery, so you know we're fine with that, chat. I'm totally on board with you. But yeah, Fiery Blizzard makes a point. Giant's already an objective. We don't want to double up on our objectives there. So we're gonna have to do that eventually anyway. We also happen to so we already have access to Cave Bahamut. We already have access to doing the Cocoa Forge from Possum Morpheus has shown us, which means we also have the ability to complete the Giant. So we're already like 3 objectives could theoretically do right now if levels weren't an issue.
The thing that Push Me to Jump doesn't let you do, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, is Sealed Cave is still locked behind a door that you need the key to open. So we still gotta find that Luca key in order to access the boss down at Sealed Cave. Possum Morpheus finally heading down underground. What forge do you think it's gonna be, chat? Honestly, I'm hoping for an Evil's Lance. Just like, this is Kane's like redemption flag set. I will love that. It's like strongest weapon, pretty much close to in the game.
Oh, Dathis! Dathis! How dare you!
You got baited.
Okay, I did. I got baited, Dathis. I got baited hard.
And once again, the inventory boss rears its head, demanding tribute.
That T Wildish. I mean, we've said it a few different times.
I love when Possum decides to like just bounce a while in a straight line. It's really funny. Ooh, he tried to jump over the cutscene trigger, but missed it by 1 tile. Ooh, close.
I mean, I tried to skip watching Ed as well. Why jump through the wall at the very top when you can jump through at the very bottom?
It's kind of funny when you think about it. It's just like, again, every single time you think you can jump over a thing in Push Me to Jump, sometimes, you know, you you can't. It's a bit deceptive at times.
All right, so Possum now working his way through the underground. Dathis showing us exactly what's going on. Okay, not got stuck there for a second.
Takes a little while, but you get there. I wonder where Possum is gonna go down in the underground right away.
At this point, I think Possum knows he needs, this is complete 5 objectives, right? It's not all objectives.
Yup, it's 5 out of 6.
So we can do the Cocoa Forge, and he's doing that right now. We can complete Bahamut. We can do the Giant. Um, Imagine doing this, maybe finding a quick grind if it's available, because you're targeting that Giant of Babel. Because not only is it an objective, but it's kind of your primary location where you're gonna find a Cecil. I get the hope. I'd be targeting trying to get that done first, and it's the Evil
Nice.
Lance.
There it is. Kain is online. You don't need no stinking Avenger. There it is. Yeah, Possum can D-Machine right now. Because the Evil Lance casts weak on item use. That's so funny.
Does look like he'll at least check out Dwarf Castle. He wants his Cecil. He wants that Cecil. And you know what? I do not blame him, because getting Cecil after you do your D machine grind would feel horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that.
Um, we do have a question in chat. D money. That's the community's term for D machine grind. It's a special encounter, specifically that you can kind of manipulate to get to within the Giant. It's a very interesting encounter in that the D machine, if you don't attack it in a certain way, will only counter with percentage-based attacks. So you can go at a very, very low level, cast weak, kill it, use the life glitch to even get some double kills, and just kind of cycle through that and go from a very low level to a very high level very, very quickly.
The interesting bit, like the name Demoni, the cash or whatever, comes from the old vanilla speedrun of the game, where they will get money from doing the D machine grind. So it was a D machine farming. So it just kind of Free Enterprise was made by the Final Fantasy IV speedrunning community at its beginnings in 2018. So it just like stopped. It's just called the machine grind. It's just like D-monies. Like, I'm gonna do D-money.
Well, and I think part of the reason that it's not only that it's helped keep the name, I mean, yes, from the original speedrunning community, but also like that grind is just money. There's so many times that you win races if you can do that grind, and if you know it and someone else doesn't, you can win races. Meanwhile, hey, guess who popped up?
There he is.
So that's our Cecil. We can do complete Cape Bahamut and complete the Giant. So we are looking either for the package or Luca Key. We're already almost in go mode.
Ideally the package, yeah, because it takes less time. But if you're gonna go, like because Sealed Cave is it's a tough fight, and you still have to go down all the way and then up all the way.
Oh, and the warp glitch is turned on as well, which is
Wow, that's. I guess we have a jet in our hands, folks.
So The funniest thing about that is that if you didn't have someone to cast Warp, you would be forced to go through the sealed cave to get that.
I wonder what Dathis' plan is. It's just like the machine gun and go. It has to be.
I think that has to be the plan. At this point with Possum as well, I'm trying to figure out what the plan is with Possum as well, because he's in go mode and he should know it. Maybe is he? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's at 8 key items. Maybe he's trying to get the freebies real quick so he can get up to 10.
Yeah, that is true. After all, with his party of 5 and the hourglasses, you can get that Dark Imps fight right out of the way, especially with Fusoya casting Stone.
All right, so Possum might actually take these fights. He has a full party, especially with the Dark Imps here, trying to hunt for that key item.
And if that's Plague, honestly, Plague's doable. But he decides, well, later, yeah. Oh yeah, Plague was at Reals, thank you. There are Bacchus!
Just what you want to see with a melee party, Bacchus wines. Alright, so I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something and then I started talking and then, Sikrira? I'm totally butchering your name. The objectives change kind of depending on what flag set we're looking at, what objectives we're looking at, because this is a hero mode specifically about Kain's redemption. A lot of the objectives are based around the story of Kain in this in particular. So,
yup, this is Baron's Hero's Journey, and each week we do themed objectives and flag sets around each character in Final Fantasy IV, more or less. and this time it was Kane's turn, and instead of Kane as a bad boy, we did Kane as a good boy, basically. And Kane as a good boy jumps a lot and very high.
Looks like Possum is at least getting an egg grind rolling for a little bit. Doesn't have the 10 key items. Don't know how many sirens he picked up along the way, but this is a great way to get things rolling as well.
Yup. I mean, where were sirens for sale? I didn't catch that.
I would venture to guess to say probably Dwarf Castle, because that was the one place I haven't seen.
Oh, fair.
I mean, that's process of elimination in my mind. Oh, 10 sirens to start? Oh, that's true. We have the character kit.
The usage of coffins is real nice because they give Possum, as you can see, time to rearrange his inventory. Inventory arranging in the middle of battles is kind of like a high skill that you can, like a high skill technique that you can do in this game. You will be surprised how much spending time in menus takes, it adds up.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And you mentioned it being kind of one of those hallmarks of a high skill player. And Morpheus, being the champion of our most recent tournament, certainly qualifies as one of those high level players, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. Considering that he's the champion of the previous tournament. But by the way, we do have a tournament upcoming this mid August. Stay tuned for the Dual Moons tournament, Simus Zone 5. So stick around,
Absolutely.
click on that follow hard and stuff. You know, engagement. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, click. I mean, you can follow us here if you want. If you've messed around with some free enterprise before and think you might want to join the tournament or something, join us over on the Discord. And all the details are and sign up are over on the Discord. So yeah, join us. Ask around. If you're just starting to get interested into free enterprise and need to ask some more questions, it's I tell you what, this is one of the friendliest communities on the internet that I've ever been a part of. So feel free, stick around, ask some questions. We'd love to have you.
Indeed, the more people, the merrier.
Unless, of course, I have to race you and then I will crush you.
There's
Oh, package.
package. That's so funny. Considering package came from Dwarf Castle. That's hilarious. Oh man.
That's just a little bit insulting right there, I think. Chat, you wanted it. You got it.
That paladin sprite is still so cool. I like it.
The one thing here is the objective is just to burn Village Mist. We don't have to continue the cutscene and fight the mystery boss here. So
No.
I gotta imagine we're gonna dodge that.
The only requirement for the objective is to burn down the mist village to do the mist cutscene. We'll see where Possum goes next. I think that after that mini grind, yeah, it's time to do the giant and do the Cave Behemoth. Possibly Cave Behemoth first, but we'll see. Like, the mist
Nope.
is not that very threatening. Oh, there you go.
Dathus, meanwhile, opening a few more of the trap chests. Has Cecil. Doesn't necessarily have a great holy sword right now, but
Well, whichever boss is at the element spot, thankfully, is going to be a non-issue because, well, we can just jump over the cutscene tile. Just go whoop. But still, the CPU boss might be pretty tough because it is tied for the highest physical attack in the game.
it can be tough, but the HP pool isn't near what it is otherwise, especially for the elements fight spot. So, I mean, when I go into a giant fight, that first boss is the one I'm most worried about, to be honest. Yeah, and we don't have to fight the first boss. So yeah, the giant isn't quite as threatening, at least to me. Um, different people have different experiences, though. You might have been traumatized by a really bad boss, like Octomom at the CPU fight is terrifying. And Possum showing great agility manipulation right now. He is unequipping the Able Lance and putting the Drain Spear on, which is a fantastic move. Kain's his hero, so Kain's agility is going to be what all the bosses base their agility on. Putting that Drain Spear on, I think it's minus 10 agility, so
Yeah, pretty
really doing
much.
some manipulation there.
With a drain sword and a curse ring, you can get Kain down to pretty manageable levels for the fastest bosses. We saw Possum triggering the fighting elements. I guess he was hoping for a freebie. Oh, he got his freebie here in the second fighting CPU spot. Meanwhile, Dathus is, I believe, fishing for equipment. I think.
We saw that Death has picked up a crystal sword, so Cecil is fully online.
He wants an adamant armor, it seems.
Alright, so Possum completes the Giant of Babel, just has to go complete Cave Bahamut. With the pass, by the way, we're already well on our way to being complete. And by the way, how would you like third, Cecils?
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. It's got jokes.
Part of me wants to know where that Luca key is now. And
Probably on the
the,
moon, most likely.
if it's at Bahamut, then you really could have skipped the Dwarf Castle entirely.
Yes, because you will have gotten Cecil from the Giant of Babel, that is true.
Well,
I mean,
more than anything, or from the package, which the Luca key led to the package.
yeah, that would have been pretty funny. Absolutely. Well, Possum already jumped over the Behemoth spots. I saw it with my own two eyes. So I don't think he needs to do that again. So he can probably skip like the last couple Behemoth fights. So you can like jump from the one side of the last floor to the other and completely skip the whole hallway you have to walk through.
Of course, Possum right now is kind of approaching a weird point right now, in that his Cecil has no equipment whatsoever.
Yeah, I wonder what he's waiting for. Like, I guess he's hoping that one of these key item spots will reward him with a weapon that he can use for Cecil. He still knows where an Avenger is, so that's something if he doesn't find a Holy Sword for Cecil.
Do do you really want to go get that Avenger to trigger the cutscene when as soon as you step into Kaipo, though?
Oh goodness, you're completely correct. I forgot about that. Oh no.
That would be horrible. But if you have no other choice, maybe you've got to
Yeah,
do it.
if you have no other weapon for Cecil, then you just gotta stick with that and do it. Dathos going to go ahead and launch in the big well. He hasn't even checked the moon character. Honestly, that's pretty like bold of him to do. Honestly, just like not bothering to check that restricted character spot and just like going right for clearing everything else. But I guess he feels comfortable with his party, you know. And Puzzle Morpheus, I don't know if he's doing this for the funsies, but
I
he's
mean,
opting to do a behemoth grind.
it's not a bad grind, honestly. Especially when you have Kane kitted out at this point in time, you're getting decent experience.
Is Dathus? I think Dathus might be setting up a D machine grind by trying to manipulate the encounter table by getting a specific encounter outside of Mysidia, and then by doing that, you know that the next encounter in the Giant of Babel is going to be the D machine encounter that you need, the searcher encounter.
Yeah, but you gotta reset, don't you? To based on the encounter tables.
No, like you reset, like you use fish for uh for a certain encounter in this table, and based on that encounter, I mean, yeah, you do have to reset before you begin the setup, though. That is true.
I was gonna say, did we see Dathus reset? I don't recall.
I mean, as uh, RuneQuest or Restreamer says that she saw a reset, so
Okay, okay.
I will trust her over me.
I was enthralled with watching Possum bounce at that point in time. It's
Boop
possible.
boop boop. So, but by doing that, you get the fight you want on the overworld, and then you know that the next fight is gonna be the Searcher Beamer fight that summons the D machines. It's one of the two ways that you can manipulate a D machine into like a machine fight into existence.
Wow, Possum one cycle. That
I
Demas.
mean,
That was impressive.
Abel's Lance doesn't care. That's an adamant armor right there. Whether you wanna go down the overworld and grab the adamant armor, maybe you don't want to, maybe you don't need to. But Cecil still doesn't have anything fantastic, I don't think.
No, I mean, you
Oh,
gotta
he has
find
the
something
pass.
fantastic.
Yes, he has the
Yeah.
pass. Never mind. Yeah. There's no need. Well, Moon was extremely haunted in this scene, huh? Amazing.
Yeah, which is nice. And Possum is just going. He said, to heck with any sort of adamant armor. We're not doing that. Double checking his agility, remembering that, oh yeah, I threw that dwarf, or that, the drain spear, but throws a
Oh
dwarf
my
axe on.
god! Mute dagger, mute dagger, Cecil.
It's worth checking the shop, right? It's got to be worth checking the shop just for something. No?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, like a restreamer Ruin Quest says, Cecil doesn't get to be cool. This is Kane's story. This is his redemption arc. Kane's his buddy. He's like supporting Kane. I mean, Cecil is Kane's buddy, and Cecil is a very good boy. He's a paladin, and he's supporting his best friend Kane to get over his bad tendencies.
See, this seems less like Kane's redemption story and more like Kane telling his perspective of the story at the bar with his buddies afterwards. Like, he's the hero, he's doing all the damage. My buddy Cecil, he just had a mute dagger.
He just had a mute dagger.
I'm the real hero of the story.
That's really funny. Yeah, imagine if Cecil did get the final hit on Ceremas, huh? Ooh,
I'm rooting for it now.
Is Dathos done with his grind? That was real fast. That was that was a really fast imaging grind.
It was, and there's only like 8 and 10 levels being gained here, so I don't know.
Did he like accidentally defeat the Searcher? Yeah, maybe that's enough. Oh, we do have a first place finisher with Wylan finishing the race in a time with 1 hour and 55 seconds. Wow.
Great
Oh
job.
yeah, wow. We were so focused that we forgot to say the thing. Do you want to say the thing? A little late, but we got it.
Yeah, we're too late. Whose butt are we gonna kick? Looks like we're kicking a Terminator butt. So, yes, it's a butt. It has a butt. The butt is cute. It is not wearing a hat. Let's just get all the memes out of the way. Just boom, 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 boom.
I guess he can be cute. It's been a million years since I saw I was a child when I saw this film. It's like I guess he can be cute, you know.
Look, Pete Arnold, I don't think anyone can argue, was an attractive man. Meanwhile, though, Dathus, taking the optional fight, didn't attempt to jump over it, so maybe forgetting that this was an optional fight?
Or it might be that he made a mistake in the D machine grind and killed the Searcher. Like, I don't know if that's the case. And then as a result, he wants the EXP that this bot has. Shoutouts to chat member Panzer Dragoon saying Terminator used to nuke is canon.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's true.
Distant Lying is being a bit of a bot, but however, everyone can jump, so honestly, it's not that tricky of a fight because you can just avoid all counters.
Yeah, and we're seeing. Yeah, Cecil's taken a lot of hits. Meanwhile, Possum is just letting the melee do their job. At least 2 out of 3 melee do their job. Cecil's trying. He's trying.
Honestly, I believe that if Cecil didn't swing his sword, it will be like more damage per second. I think, but this also like buffers the turns for Ceremas, so it might be not that bad.
Alright, so Dathus does get through. At least the last person you want to gain levels, being Kain, your agility anchor, gains a whole lot of them.
Honestly,
the rest of the party dead.
Kain can solo Ceremas. White Spear is so obscenely good. Oof, that on a nerf Big Bang. Ugh. And that was a direct nuke. It came right before the Big Bang, so it didn't get nerfed. Oh no, oh no.
This is not looking good for Possum. Even if rocks fall, the rocks could wipe the party, so...
Oh, black hole. Thank goodness. This is recoverable, I believe. But it's gonna be tricky to recover, for sure. No, they took a turn. They were cute already. Oh, this is so sketchy. Yes, Cure 3 was the correct decision right there.
Yep, absolutely. Protect yourself first.
Starvale maybe, but that Big Band's coming. He's just going for it. He's yellowing. He's going to jump over the Big Bangs. Push B to jump.
I mean,
Possum's like this. I swear to God.
And it's Meteor, and Meteor whips.
Possum's like this. He always does nonsense like this.
You
He
mad
loves
lad.
Mega Love. Yeah, yeah. And there it is.
Oh my gosh. GG's Possum.
We'll see.
That was
Possum has finished the race
stressful.
in second place with a time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, 8 seconds, and he will be joining us with an interview shortly.
That was stressful, Possum, but GG's. Way to clutch it out. Meanwhile, Dave is finishing up his giant at this point in time. That was a pretty quick fight there. We'll see. Let's see, we have the complete giant. Then we just have Cave Muhammad on Dave's side.
He will absolutely get there in no time at all with the power of the white, of the, not the white spear. White spear's garbage. We have
Yeah, the
Abel's
crystal
lands.
sword. Yeah.
Hello.
So, and we're joined now by Possum Morpheus. GG's.
Well, hello everybody. That was well, an appropriate finish, I suppose. GG's.
I can't believe that you didn't even try to recover that fight.
Nope.
Were you counting HP or something?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I was just kind of, I mean, I don't play push me to jump a lot. So, like, for me to finish second and only a couple minutes behind Wylam, like, I am over the moon about that. Like, I don't play it a lot. So, like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, I'm super happy. Like, it's great. And we got the Abel's Lance, and I got to jump over behemoths, because that's the meta objective. And then I got to unjump over them to get some XP, because 10 key items don't exist. And then, yeah, that was cool to finish. Just jump. Kills are almost by jumping. Jump medias.
So Xenocat was like yelling at you the whole time, wink wink, like, oh, what did you pick Fusoya? Fusoya's so bad and pushed me to jump. So, what was your thought process for picking up Fusoya over, say, I don't know, Tella or whatever?
I mean, I'm sure Fu is terrible on push me to jump. I'm also sure not going underground for 40 minutes is terrible on push me to jump. And I can probably list off 10 other things that people who actually know how to play push me to jump would yell at me for. So, I mean, it's completely warranted. Like, I could use to learn a lot about push me to jump by watching this back, I'm sure. I doubt it would just be Xenocat. You know, there's a lot of folks that know way more than I do about push me. I am the first to admit that. It is not my specialty.
So, so we saw you get an Avenger and then reset out of Kaipo. What was, like, why did you do that?
An Avenger from Kaipo?
Yeah, I mean that's what everyone in chat
That's what
was
it
saying.
looked like. It was. Yeah, it looked like it was an Avenger in that pod.
Oh, it was a Slumber Sword.
Well,
Oh.
I remember thinking, hey, that's a nice dart. But it was Rydia, so I don't need to keep it.
Okay, never mind. It looked like for a half second it was an Avenger because it flashed on your screen. So we were like, oh, that would be great.
Oh, if it was an Avenger, I mean, hold the phone. We're not getting rid of that. One day, I hope to find a woman who looks at me the same way I look at an Avenger. That's the ongoing thing. If there's an Avenger, I ain't resetting out of it, my friends.
Nice. So you really didn't bother even trying to find anything better for Cecil, huh?
Hey, Cecil and a Mute Knife are helping. Still, probably. For 300 damage a swing. Don't worry about it.
I theorized. You know more about numbers and free enterprise tech than I do. So I was theorizing that if Cecil wasn't swinging, that's actually a higher damage per second than if he actually was swinging. Is that correct?
Oh, almost certainly. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to take the time to like go hunting holy swords. I did the what chest did I do? I did the last arm chest, hoping to find a holy sword. I could have gone and like played an Eblin and maybe done like the flame dog, but I was like, if it doesn't hit, I probably can get through this fight with just Kain and Edge. They're both super strong. I made it a little more interesting than it needed to be, but it was, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to have found a holy sword. It would have made everything way easier.
I bet.
I'm sure there is one. It's T Wildish. Like, could have checked any moon box, could have done the hairdryer chest, any number of things, but it is what it is.
Yeah, while I'm joining us in chat, I'm saying that it was a linear seed with push me to jump. So I guess I keep rolling golden nuggets in a weird way, huh?
Well, I mean, kind of. I guess like the thing is where Cecil was hiding.
Yeah,
like, you basically have to do dwarf, or wherever Luca Key was. I have no idea. But you have to basically do dwarf, and like for me, I just didn't go underground to like 40 minutes or whatever it was, 35, I forget. So like the early Cecil was out of the picture for me, which meant that I was thinking like I'll find him at the package or the giant, because I only had like 3 character checks left. I think it was dwarf, package, and giant, and I was like, well, this fool's got to be at one of them. If he wasn't at dwarf, I was gonna take Eddie actually. Slam the spoon on him and go from there. But he showed up in dwarf, and then I took him and then realized I had nothing for him.
Yeah. Whoops. With that, with that hindsight and stuff, would you have chosen a different character to be your fifth?
Yeah, I probably would have gone Eddie. If I would have paid attention. Yeah, because I had the spoon. I just want more damage at that point.
That's fair.
Like, Eddie with a spoon, he doesn't survive anything, but he dishes the pain. Sorry, Vegeta, go ahead.
No, you're the star of the show. This is me. This is all you. But
Kain's the star of the show.
Fair. Let's talk about that Fu early on, because it felt like you had to take a little bit of time to take some extra fights just to really get him going and online there for a sec. He ended up being fine. But Push Me to Jump Fu, I guess, according to Xenocat, was his weak sauce or something. I'm trying to quote Xenocat properly.
Well, the thing with it is, like, I make the play to not go underground right away. And so I have to commit to everything that's not underground. So Fusoya showed up for me super early, like early. Like, I had done what, Antlion and then Fabul, and boom, there was Fu on the moon. Like, it was extra bosses, but at the same time, it's a lot of extra power. Like, I don't know, it's weird, right? I don't know the math on it. Fu is a very comfy character to have. Rather than relying on like Leviathan Rydia as your black mage, you can rely on Fu as your black mage and then have him do white mage stuff later. So, it is what it is. And if it came down to needing a D machine grind, I mean, obviously the Abel's Lance showed up, but Fu would have facilitated that. Just, don't know. I'm sure there's ways to optimize it, but again, I'm not a push speed to jump expert by any means, so I will take Xenocat's word on it. I'm just comfortable with Fu.
Okay, so any last thoughts on the scene?
I mean, it was fun. The Edge and Kain show, just really kind of sharing the spotlight there. Fun little flag set. I'm very curious how it plays out without push B to jump.
I mean, you can always roll it without push B, I guess, for yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just interesting because like this one, it really doesn't change a ton, at least for how I played it. Like, I played it basically as close to the vest as it gets, not doing many of the like out of logic stuff that push B to jump gives you. I think I did like the Twin Harp and Baron, and that was it. But it was fun. Like, I enjoyed it and look forward to whatever I think Wylam picks for next week, which I think is the last week of yet another phenomenal season of Baron Hero's Journey.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next week is gonna be the last week of the season. I am hoping, like a wild hope that 5.0 is released before the next season. I don't think it will, but I just want more shiny toys to play with. But even if it isn't, season 3 is absolutely gonna be a thing after the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to season 3 for sure. Season 1 and 2 were both super fun. So yeah, thank you Alchemy Invitasia for comms. Thank you Ribbon Quest. I believe this was your first time doing restream, so thank you so much. You did, I'm sure, a phenomenal job. And thanks,
Absolutely.
Cat, for tracking.
And thank you, Possum, for racing everybody. I always appreciate it.
Yeah, always my pleasure.
Well, thanks a lot, and take care, Possum.
Take care, and GG's. And with that, Dathus showed us a little Easter egg there. If you jump over the tile that triggers the Zeromus fight, behind Zeromus is the food room.
Fupa! Fupa! This is rarely shown on Restring. Usually we tell people to find it out by themselves, but Dathus was feeling feisty and showed. I mean, it's not like a rule or anything, but like he just wanted to show the world what hides behind Zeromus and what a world it is. But he's finally made it to the Zeromus fight. Those levels, those HP values are a little low, but I believe that Dathos knows this game very well, and I think he can pull this fight off.
Yeah, he's certainly capable and has the equipment because we did see a crystal sword on Cecil. So I think, if Cecil can stay up.
Absolutely, like you don't need to stay alive if you defeat your like Terumas fast enough. You know what I mean? Like the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah, with the right set of Zerkers and equipment, you will not see a second Big Bang, and hopefully we'll see that here directly. Oh no.
Oh yeah, that Big Bang was rough. Absolutely, a nerf Big Bang with those HP values.
Yeah, I think we're at the point with Dathus, unfortunately, that uh, he's going to have to figure out some extra grinding, just because it's just a little bit too much right at the moment. That Kain is very, very speedy, and that's ramping up Z's agility.
Yeah, the agility situation with fast anchors is pretty nasty. Like, especially if you're not used to it, Sihiro can really get you by surprise.
Well, and I think that's part of the reason why using that Drain Lance or a Dwarf Axe or something to knock Kain's agility down to start, and then having him switch over from there is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, like, there's no shame on like popping some sirens and trying again. Like, as I always say, safety is a very real strat. So if you're safe, you won't wipe to Ceremus, and you won't, spend time retrying Ceremus and maybe, bashing your head against, against a wall. No shame in doing levels. I've also said.
Going for power overwhelming, you're absolutely right. If you're just trying to get through, perfectly acceptable. And with the levels that Dathus is gaining, it just won't matter for too long.
Oh yeah, we do have an adamant armor available from the pink tail.
You're right. That adamant armor would go a long way into protecting Cecil, or your white mage if you want to make sure that your white mage is protected.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you can put that on Cecil to make him, his speed, make it match Kane's speed, and make those swings from that crystal sword hit real good. Or like Willem says, to just put that on Kane and just have him 1-to-1 Cerebus because the able lens is absurd and he can absolutely do it.
You know, that sounds like a plan to me.
I have seen Drain Circus strats with Kane, and it's honestly pretty funny. Just put the controller down, go take a walk, do a chore to go to the bathroom, eat a snack, and then come back 20 minutes later. Oh, Ceremus is gone.
Yep, I've done Drain Venger strats with both Cecil and Kane, and yeah, it's really easy to just set your controller down and walk away. It's not advised.
No, it's not fun quotations because you're not actually playing the game. It's not fast, but it is certainly an option that's like low effort. You just need the right setup, and you're good. And you're absolutely good. It seems that Dathus feels more comfortable with those levels and HP values. We'll see if the setup that he has right now will be enough to defeat Ceremus. I think it will. Those HP values are pretty way safer than they were before.
Certainly safer, although Porum is still a little low. I think got up to the point where Porum might learn Cure 4, um, which might put us in the danger territory if we do get a second Big Bang.
I mean, just like Porum just has low HP, there is a point, sure, you could like grind a lot, basically over grind, to make sure that Porum has enough HP to survive a nasty and nerf Big Bang, but that's a lot of commitment when everyone else is just gonna be like tearing into Ceremas.
No, absolutely. So it's a weird point to be in at this point of the race where you're starting to see people finish, and okay, well let's do it. Oh yeah, Porum definitely knows Cure 4.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe 1800 is the minimum to survive an unnerved Big Bang, just like just about. Like give or take.
Wylam asks a good question in chat. Where was the Porum? Because I know we had duplicate Rosas and Foos that were kind of all over the place, but he had committed to Porum quite early, as I recall.
Yeah, seen a Tracker tracker mentioning that Porum was on Baron King, and for the most part, one of the Daph's strategy for this seed has been get my party going as fast as possible. So he immediately picked up that Tela because he knew he wanted to do a T machine run. Then he found that edge, and he was like, well, Cecil's gonna be my fifth, and then he found a white mage and he took the white mage. Um, Seeing most flag sets in Baron's Hero's Journey tend to have a Xeno dupe and Primogen to like simulate an classic RPG party. That's the point. So there are multiple ways of approaching those kind of flag sets. One of it is like I'm gonna spend 40 minutes with two characters and then do my find really good characters at the end, or I'm just gonna get my party right away and tear through the early game. That's like what Death is just showed. Like that's the approach Death is chose. I think. Not waiting for the boss to show up. I'm gonna grab that farm. I need to wait now.
And yeah, I gotta say, like, there's a certain value to that kind of strategy, especially if
Oh yeah.
you don't know what's going to be coming a little bit later. It certainly has value. It just didn't necessarily play out for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. In Baron Zero's Journey Season 1, that was the strategy that Austin Morpheus, or second place finisher, was the one that he followed in most seeds. He just got a party real quick, even with seeds and Jangs, and just like went to town. Just like did an early grind and just went ahead. But this fight is going a little dicey, but with Porom being alive, that Big Bang should get healed, no problem. Kain is down though, so that's a source of very good damage that's, not happening right now. Sadly.
Plus the black hole that just came out, so your Zerkers are no longer Zerkers. So they'll get one last swing in, yeah.
Which might be a good thing in this scenario. Oh, never mind. There's the Meteor. Pretty good. Yeah. These characters are gonna dodge rocks like it's nobody's business. Darting that drains swords, nice. Poron jumping. There it is, 500 damage. This Cecil and this is a jump shooter, I believe. Yup, there it is.
GG's.
Deathers. Finishing with a time of 1 hour 29 minutes 10 seconds.
GG's we'll see. We'll see. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see if he wants to join us for an interview. He will. What a Sid. Those like Sid has so many jokes, I swear. I believe we're joined by Dathus. Hello there.
Hello.
Sid's got jokes.
I heard you wanted everybody to have power overwhelming.
Yeah, honestly? Yeah. Yeah, I did, actually, for this one.
Kain gets the Able Lance, we have a Masamune in the treasury, found himself a crystal sword, some Artemis bows, Stardust rods, everything everybody could want, and more.
Absolutely. It's just, I was so happy the moment I saw that Abel's Lance pop up in the forge. I was like, oh, yes. This is Kain Sid.
I had a good laugh because I looked at what the forge could have been, the Supersmith, and I saw the tell it. I'm like, I'm gonna get an Abel's Lance from this Supersmith later on. I just know it, and you're gonna be completely useless. 100%. I was right.
Yeah, it's just easy to forget, that Abel Lance can cast weak because you rarely see it. But yeah, it absolutely can.
Kain cosplays as a caster with all of his spears. He can cast fire too, he can cast ice too, he can cast white, he can cast weak. I don't know if he can cast anything else, but he has the gauntlet of spells.
I mean, he does have a casting animation very deep within the game's sprites, so
Why do you think I gave him MP?
Of course. Hashtag give Kain MP. Live the dream.
You're all monsters. I just want you to know that right now.
Why? Come on.
What? Who? How dare you talk bad about memes?
Play with us in the space, Vitasia. Play with us.
Either way, just great running. Seeing you there. The early Tella, I guess you alluded to it a little bit earlier. You grabbed him thinking that you were going to have to do a D money grind pretty early, right?
Yeah, I know push B to jump seeds, you're kind of not fighting a lot of bosses, you're skipping a whole bunch of them, so a grind was 100% on the table. The idea that I saw the sirens, I'm like, okay, I could either do sirens or I could do D money. I just said, nuts to it, let's go D money, and went about that. Yeah, and I could have done pretty much anything. The only party regret I have is taking Porum over Rosa. I should have 100% checked ordeals before going to Baron Inn. About that, other than that, you really couldn't have gotten a better comp. I saw Palom, and I'm like, no, sorry Palom, sorry Iridia. Even Fu, I just look and go, no, bruisers are going to get so much love on T Wildish that you get your fighters, you have a good time.
Like with a Cecil objective, a Kain start, and an unrestricted edge, this flag set was absolutely intended to be, a fighter's paradise, pretty much.
So let's talk about that Cecil, by the way, that you had 100% required do nothing but dwarf, do not pass go. You will find that darkness crystal later. Oh, hey, by the way, the only third copy of your Cecil, all required through dwarf. That's where the seed has its real jokes.
Yeah, required Cecil. I couldn't have, sometimes I do I do this club, I do Hero's Journey, and it's like the seed generation is like, haha, I'm gonna give you Wyvern Wave at elements, haha, I'm gonna give you Seed Distinct 5, have fun. But some other times the seed generator is like, I'm just gonna give you required Cecil.
I was 100% down with the required Cecil because that meant we're gonna find him, and I'm gonna go dive Eblin as I did because there's a crystal sword in most trap chests kicking around somewhere. So
I believe you cut off that is.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you're gonna get an Excal or a crystal sword for Cecil at some point in time. So as soon as you see him, you know where you gotta go. 3 trap chests.
You say that, but apparently Possum was like struggling to find anything for Cecil, and he ended on Cerums with a mute knife. So
he didn't go to Evelyn. I'm impressed.
Yeah, like, he didn't bother with Evelyn. I guess it worked out for him, but like seeing Cecil swing a Cerums for like 500 damage was pretty funny.
Oh, absolutely. No, that would have been entertaining to see. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just don't want to go back and do checks. Like, again, Evelyn, I'm a loot goblin, so it just goes to my playstyle. Let's open all the chests, and that's a whole bunch of things. So I was happy to go back.
Absolutely. Do you have any other questions, Vitation?
No, just GG's, and I learned to stop and close my mouth when I make fun of memes, apparently. So.
Okay, that in itself is the meme. You're the anti-meme meme.
You know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being the anti-memer.
How many layers deep can we go? I kind of get lost in the labyrinth of irony. I'm sorry.
I yeet both Rydia and Edward. I said that. Anyway.
I saw that spoon. I was very sad it didn't take the Edward. I'm like, oh, there's Excal Light. All right. But you know what? Thank you, Ruben Quest. I'm going to watch this back. I'm excited to see your first time out doing Restream. Xenocat, thanks to see you again after last night's race. Hopefully great job on tracking for the few key items we got. Alchemy Invitation, excited to hear comms. Thanks very much for letting me be on the Restream today, and you guys have yourself a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you very much, Zathis, and GG's the gang.
GG's.
Excellent. One more shout out to both of our runners, Possum Morpheus and Dathis. If you like what you saw from them, go ahead and give them a follow here on Twitch. Again, folks behind the scenes, Ribbon Quest with the Restream, and Xenocat with the tracking. Of course, Alchemy, my co-commentator. Always wonderful to work with you.
Thank you very much. And always wonderful to work with you. Tasha.
With that said, we're going to send everyone over to Martin Broadcloak, who is just coming back from a break and trying to shake off some rust, doing one of the moon seeds. So make sure to give him a shout out there. Don't spoil this race, please. Just a reminder: tomorrow at 7 p.m. it's going to be a from the perspective of Edge race here at 7 o'clock on the Free Enterprise channel. That'll do it from those of us here. Have fun, and we'll see you at the next race, everyone.
Take care. And we should be good, I think.